Hello everyone, and welcome back to the world of Nareus and the Chronicles of the Southern Coalition. This is episode 7, and it'll be adventure number 5 for our brave adventurers. So last time they had discovered they had gone to Hearthhold and had gone out on a delve quickly and fought some orcs and found a small cavern system, and after all the traveling and all that, they decided to go back to Hearthhold and spend an evening and rest up. So the next day finds them at Hearthhold. They get some rest, and they decide that the next day they will go out again into the Torian Hills, see if they can explore and find where the Kiltar raiders are holding up. Good thing is, over the evening, Jaren and Thorum both had enough experience to level up. Alindra has a little bit more to go since she is dual classing. It takes a little longer for XP, but she is still first level. But Thorum and Jaren are now level 2. As you can see by their hit point dice, they're actually a little bit more robust with their hit points, so they're going to have to make sure they protect Alindra a little bit better. But as she gets higher up, she's going to be more powerful because she'll have the skills of a thief and of a magic user. So the next morning comes, and they check in with the watch captain of Hearthhold, and then they're assigned a scout to take them back to the location where they entered the other day into the Torian Hills. They make it there within an hour or so of leaving Hearthhold, and they enter the Torian Hills. A scout tells them that he will meet them here at the end of the day, or they can camp, and he will wait for them for an hour after sunset, and then he will leave if they're not there, and he will come back every day until they arrive again, or until a week passes, and they'll have to send in scouts to see what happened to them if they can find them. So they head into the Torian Hills, and the Torian Hills are very wild, so they come across crags and outcroppings and very thick scrub, and it makes their traveling very difficult. But they finally come across what they believe to be where the Kiltar raiders are held up, and they enter the cave entrance. And this is where we enter into using the cards. So like I said before, I'm using the deck of mini dungeons to generate random adventures and set while they're delving. Let me flip that around, trying to clear up some glare from the lights. So this is I'm using the green cube to represent where the party is located roughly on the map. So they find a cave entrance, and of course it's rough hewn. Some of it looks even natural, and as they go deeper in, they actually come probably about 50 feet as they crawl into the cavern, and they go, and it widens from 5-10 feet back and forth, and it's not very consistent as they travel through. They actually come upon some, looks like what has been worked stone, and they come down through a set of stairs, and they enter this area. It looks like it's some rough terrain, and they come to a T section, and it looks like there is some of the ceiling and some of the walls have broken apart, but the walls appear to be stable. Thorum looks at it and says, "Yeah, this appears to be safe." He says, "Yes, safe. We'll get us through this." As Thorum is very curt, but he just means well. So they decide to go left. And our first section that they come across. So they travel through, and Alindra has a chance to pick up on secret doors. So let me see if she can locate this secret door. Just by passing by, they're not searching for it actively, they wouldn't think about it. So, but let's see if we actually get even a good roll. She rolls a natural 20. Well, guess what? She located the secret door. Okay, that's cool. Very good. So she's walking by. Hey guys, this wall looks different. She points to the north facing wall. Look at this. There's a line here or something, and she picks up something, and on the wall and the ground there's some dirt and some. Looks like there has been some stuff fallen from the wall, and it looks like it's left a little bit of a trace of an opening. So Jaren says, well, let me listen at it. And she says, I'll do the same. Jaren gets a natural 20. Well, this is going to be interesting tonight. I hope they don't spend all their 20s now. Oh my gosh. She rolled another. That's 3 20s in a row. Oh my gosh. This is scaring me for the combat situations if they crop up. So they listen inside on the door, and it appears there's nothing inside the room. So they open, actually just unlatch the door. They figure out a way to unlatch it, and they push the door open. And inside the room looks like there is a old like a bedroll, and it's pretty beat up. I'm going to give them a chance to find maybe something in the room. Will there be monsters? Let's do a 25% chance there being actual monsters in the room. A 49. That's what I rolled. So, no monsters. Is there something of value or of interest in this room? 75. Nope, nothing. It just looks like maybe a place where they had stayed, or there was maybe a special guard room or something that they had used. And do they spot the other? Well, the secret door is going to be visible from the inside. They notice that this is actually a secret door too. So they come out and they mark a little bit of chalk on both of the doors so they can find it later. But they decide to keep going this direction. And they get to this thing. Let's see if we draw a good one. I don't think I'm going to use this one. I'll use the next one. This is good. So they come to a part of the, if you see here, part of the ceiling and walls have caved in a little bit, and from the back side they're a little higher level now, so I'm not going to roll this, but there is a monster here, and let's see what kind of monster is delving or inside this cavern. As they're coming up the thing, they start to pull some of the rocks apart so they can walk through it safely, and then they are accosted. Let us see what we find. A D100. Using these tables, I got a drive-through RPG. It's for this game. They encounter a monster index. So I'm going to use the underground 1 through 3 level dungeon. We get a 51. Oops, that was a 60. There's a 51. A humanoid. Roll on the table below. All right, so let's see what we get. Humanoid. Oh, wow, 14. Ooh, let me take a look at this. See if we want to play this way. So as they're clearing out the rubble and stuff from here, Alindra had cast a light spell on a medallion she carries, so they can see down here. As they're clearing it out down here, all of a sudden her light extinguishes. It just goes out. And she tries to cast it again, and nothing happens. It's dark, as you can understand. Fortunately, Thorum can see somewhat because he has deep vision, but the others are kind of blinded right now. And while she was carrying the torch, she was in front a little bit too. As you can see, the marching order is actually Thorum, and then Jaren, and then Alindra, but she had come forward to help dig out some of the rough terrain also. And the light goes out. They panic. She tries to recast the spell, and it just can't restart the light. And then she feels something attack her from the darkness. This creature's very tiny, but they can't see it. The only thing that Thorum sees is a kind of a shadowy move towards Alindra. and it takes a swing at her. A 7. I'll give it a little bit of a bonus because it was attacking from the darkness. It is... Okay. So it is 1 hit dice, so +1. So it's going to have +1, plus I'm going to give it a few points. But it's not enough to hit Alindra, even if she just takes away from her... from some of her decks for just not being available. And what is attacking them is called a Dark Creeper. And it has extinguished their flame, or their light, and is now attacking them. So they're going to be... Thorum's Eliminate's not going to be at as bad of a disadvantage, but he will still have a penalty. And Jaren and Alindra will both be struggling to fight. So here's the initiative roll. Round 1. Put that in screen. There we are. So we have, and using Castles and Crusades, it's all based on D10. So we will base everything up. Oh, that's pretty good. Alindra will go second because she's kind of in an impeded. So far, Thorum actually gets to go first. He has his blade ready, and he tries to swing at this creature coming at them. It is AC 20. It has, it's a 1 hit dice, it's D10. So I'm going to give it 8 hit points. It's just very hard to hit him, and Thorum's at a -2 to hit him. So let's see what he rolls. Well, he rolls a 2, so he's not going to be able to hit the creature. Alindra, since she can't target the creature very well, she can't cast spells at it. So she is going to attempt to swing with her short sword. And rolls a 3, so that is a miss. The creature goes after Alindra again because it says that they go after creatures that are magic users first because they are afraid of them more than anything else. Oh, a 19. It's not a critical, but that's still a good hit. And it does, with a dagger, it has a dagger. And it does 1. And let me see what its stats say about damage. So it does 1 damage to Alindra. Ouch. Oops. Let me put that down to 6. If I can find it. There we are. Everybody can see it on screen. Okay, good. Now Jaren goes, and he pulls his blade out. Rolls a 9. He's got a bonus total after recalculating for the next level. It's +5, but I'm giving him a -4. So he hits a 10. Does not hit the AC of this creature. So we go back to round 2, initiative. This is tough because they can't see. Well, that is a 10, not a 0. So that's a 10. That is a 1, 2, 7. So Thorum he attempts to swing at the creature again. A 13, and he's leveled up, so he gets a little bit better to hit. He's +4 with the broadsword. So that's going to be a -2. So he does not hit. He gets a 15, and he needs a 20. Their AC is very high, so he's done. The creature goes, attempting to go against Alindra again, and he rolls a 10, but she gets her AC this time because she's aware of him. So her AC is 17, and he gets a plus. So he doesn't hit her. Fortunately, that even with a little bit of penalty from being in the dark, she dodges the blow now that she's aware of the creature. And Jaren rolls an 8. They can't, now they're not rolling anything good. So Alindra, realizing that they're not going to be able to do any good with any light source, she can't get her light spell off. She reaches and grabs a torch from her backpack and attempts to light it. And I'm going to see if she can get just any kind of a decent roll. She rolls a 16. I'm going to make that as basically trying to avoid the creature and do this stuff. And she gets it lit. She takes the torch and throws it down the hallway a little bit, so it at least lets them have better light on their subject. And that is her turn. So now the creature, they don't have as big of a penalty. It'd be -1 for Thorum and -2 for Alindra and Jaren. Actually, Thorum will be able to see completely now. He's fine. He doesn't have any penalty. All right, round 3. Oh no, the creature's going next. Creature, seeing the light source, angers again, looks at Alindra, and rolls a 14. But now she's more aware of him. He gets a +1, 15. Fortunately, her AC is 17, and I'm not going to give a penalty this time because now there's lights, so it is a miss. All right. Alindra, tired of this, now that she can see the creature, she cast a magic missile at it. So it is going to... do I want to spin one of those? Yeah, she needs to do that. So, first off, she will do 4 points of damage, 3 + 1. So now it's down to 4. Half the damage, that's good. Now she has a chance of getting back her spell point. 15% chance, so it's a 1 to 3 she gets her spell point back. Nope, she rolls a 7, so doesn't get it back, but that's okay. And that was Thorum was next. He will swing at the creature. Rolls an 8 plus a 5. Thorum is +4. That's 12. That is a miss. And then finally, Jaren swings his sword at the creature. Oh my goodness, rolls a 3. Cannot seem to hit. These are small, very agile, and very tough to hit creatures because they kind of blend in with the dark. So they're actually smaller, I think, than even a halfling as far as I can tell. Very, very tiny. So round 4. Okay. I'm going to let the creature... Oh, good. The creature will go before Thorum because it's much faster. So I'm going to let... I'm sorry, the creature... yeah, so it's Jaren first. He's going to swing at the creature, hopefully. Hit it. 14. And he's a total of +5. With a penalty, so he's still going to miss the armor class 20 on the creature. Actually, they say in the rules that if there's a light source, they lower their AC, so they're at an AC of 18. So even with this penalty of -2, it still misses because he's a +5. That'd be a 19. It's a 17. He missed by 1. The darkness is still causing effect. Yeah, he's going after Alindra. 15 + 1 is 16. That's a miss, barely. Her +1 leather armor helped her, saved her. And then Thorum swings with his broadsword, and that misses with a 4. And then Alindra laughs. She goes, "I guess I have to take care of her myself." She just swings it with the short sword and rolls an 18. I guess she does. 18 + 2 is a 20, minus a 2 is an 18, which is just enough to hit. So it does D6 + 1. Let's see if she gets enough damage to kill this creature. She needs 4 points. 5 + 1 is enough to kill the creature. Excellent. She finally gets a beat on the creature and puts him out of... She runs her short sword through and knocks the creature dead. Excellent. All right. Let's see if the creature had any treasure. So the creature is gone, and they're searching around. Why would this creature... It may have made its home here. May have even tried to, since it doesn't look like there's been much activity in this area. So they start searching around. They can pull the rubble aside. They get some of this cleared away, and they actually see if they can find anything the creature had. I will use Alindra's dice, since she was very effective last fight. So he has a treasure type of 5. So let's see. So there's a 70% chance of coins. 22. All right. So they do find a small stash. Wow. 2d6. So 2d6 times 50. So that's 4. That's 200 gold. Wow. Excellent. I'll write that down. That's always good. Gems. Is there any gems? 50% chance. 62. Nope. Extraordinary items. 50% chance. A 20. Oh, there are. Let us go. How many? Extraordinary. D4 + 2. Let me get a die. So there's 6 extraordinary items. All right. Okay, I'll do that. I'm going to make it so it's going to be small bits of jewelry. So it's going to be here. I'm going to roll once and just kind of put it all. It's going to be, okay, well, 92. Ooh, it's a torque. I'm going to say there's a torque and a ring, and and 2 rings. And we'll come back to the value in a little bit. I'll do those later. But that's pretty nice. And they look like they're very well crafted, and so that's nice. And magic items. This is the part that we like to roll. A 91. Nope. Small % chance, but no magic items. Okay. I did find some treasure, which is good. So they're right here. And so they continue on. Linder says, I'm doing fine. I got scratched, but I think we can keep moving. I don't want to spend any more magic going through here. So we will draw, and all right. So they come to a door. Both Alindra and Jaren will listen, since they both have pretty good listen stats. Oh no, she's better at it, so I'm gonna let her do it. 13. She's skilled. It's listen is wisdom, but she's not. That's not her primary. So it's going to be 13 plus 2 plus wisdom plus that. That's going to be an 18, but they don't hear anything. She says, I don't think there's anything in here. She tries the door quietly. It seems to be unlocked, and they open the door. And she also grabs the torch from back here because for some reason her light spell doesn't seem to want to kick off right now. And something must have been through that dark creeper causing an issue. Hopefully it returns later on. So they go in the room here, and you can see that. Yes, okay. And inside the room, looks like there's pillars and a door. And looks like there's some kind of a altar or something here. And I'm going to say, standing at each of the pillars, looks like there's a skeleton. And we'll get to the skeleton entry. Adding a little bit of a fight here. So as they enter this room, they notice that there's a skeleton standing at the edge of each of these pillars, here. But they don't see that there's actually 2 on each side. They saw it here, but they didn't see the other. So there's actually 8 skeletons. And as they enter the room, the skeletons don't seem to move. But as they get closer into the room, as they approach the altar, they're all being kind of careful, cautiously watching the... over here. Watching the skeletons. They get closer to the altar, all of a sudden they animate and they attack. So there's 8 of them. Round 1. All right. Getting the dice together. I'm going to split them into 2 groups, excuse me, to make it easier. They're low AC, but they have a lot of hit points. And the other thing about skeletons is that if you use slashing or edged weapons or piercing, it does half damage, whereas blunt weapons do full. And I'm going to say that they kind of know this. They've been adventuring enough where they would know this, and Thorum tells them that too. Unfortunately, the only one that has any kind of blunt weapon is Thorum. So here we go. I'm going to make the hit points. They have they're 1 hit die. but they have D12 hit points. I'm going to have them have 10 hit points each. It's going to be a tough fight. All right, so here we go. All right. Ooh, the first batch. Oh no. I guess my heroes were surprised. So they're all going to go after the skeletons. So the first batch of 4, which are over here, they move forward and they attempt to attack. I'm going to roll all of them together. Yeah, that's good. Okay. They get a +1 to hit. That's all they get. They do move silently, and it's kind of eerie. If you're used to facing opponents that scream and yell, these creatures just step forward quietly and start attacking. Let's see. I'm going to put 1 on each, and I'm going to put 1 more on Thorum, because I'm going to do the 2 yellow on Thorum, because he appears to radiate goodness, and these creatures tend to go towards that. But fortunately, none of the hits landed, because Thorum can use his shield. He's armor AC 19 versus this right now, and he used both, so he doesn't get his AC against the next batch. All right, the next batch goes same thing. 2 on Thorum. So the 2 on Thorum, which are these 2, they miss, rolling a 1. All right, so no damage was done. Fortunately, I think the skeletons had been left there so long that they were decrepit, and they had finally, their animation started to kick in once they approached the altar, but they're still kind of dealing with some of that. Jaren swings his sword at one of the 2 attacking him. Oh no, Jaren rolls a 1. So he's going to be pretty tied up next turn, retrieving his sword as he drops it. He's freaking out from the skeletons. Alindra, she has, looking for any spells she can use. Those aren't, sleep will not do good against undead, so she will swing at one of the creatures. Rolls a natural 20. Excellent, excellent. She's on fire tonight. So, and when I'm playing my game, a critical hit, which is a natural 20, does maximum damage of the weapon, which is a D6. So it does 6 plus 1 for plus 1 for her strength bonus. So that's a 7 and a D4. So she's going to add a D4 to this. That's 11. Unfortunately, it's going to be half damage. So I'm going to round it up. So it's going to be 11, so it's going to be 6 damage. So that's 4 hit points left on that one. All right. And then Thorum decides to attempt to turn undead. Let me get to the page to read how that works. Okay, so it is a wisdom check. Unfortunately, since he is a cleric of Doru, wisdom is one of his primaries, so that's good. So it's going to be, so it's a wisdom check. So that's base 12 since he is primary. He gets wisdom. I'm going to do the target number. It's 12 plus the level of the creature. And I'm going to put +2 on it. So it's going to be a total of 15 target value. So he gets, wisdom is +4 plus his level, which is 2. So he's at +6. So he needs a 12. He rolls a 12. So that's an 18. Excellent. So he does pass. So what it does is he can turn up to D12 plus his charisma modifier of creatures. D12 levels, sorry. I'm going to do levels because I like that better. All right. So his charisma modifier is +2. Okay. He rolls 10 plus 2 is 12 levels. So he technically turns all of them. He basically brandishes his holy symbol of Doru from his chest, hanging from a gold medallion and a gold chain. And he says, "By the power of Doru, I call thee back to what evil you went to." And all the creatures basically just shuffle away from all of his friends. It's a 60-foot area, so they basically just kind of crumble. They don't just get destroyed, but they all kind of like go up into this corner. So I'm going to give them just feeding all those 10 skeletons. As long as they don't go and try and attack them, the skeletons will leave them alone for a short time. That's excellent. Wow, that's a good roll. That's going to be 15 XP each. I'm not going to give them any treasure because they were like guarding this room, but they do go look at the altar, and the altar, they kind of step away from the altar a little bit so they don't trigger any of the creatures again. And Doru and Thorum says you may want to not get too close. This is look at it from afar. And Jaren and Alindra both kind of step forward. Alindra, who's very interested in this stuff, decides to see. She doesn't get a rubbing because she can't get that close. She doesn't want to get too close to the altar, but they do look, and the writing looks very similar to the stuff they found on the statue in episode 3. So they kind of. She tries to make a quick, hastily drawing of the writing as good as she can, and I'm going to give her a check to see how well she writes it down. A 10. I'm going to make it a wisdom. I'll make it intelligence for her. So she makes it, so it's a 12, and I'll give a little bit of so she can either use one of those two. So yeah, she writes down the wording on the altar. And she'll take it back and we'll have it investigated. So to keep from getting attacked from the creatures, they both go up to here. They all go up to here, and then they check the door. The door's silent. They basically see the door is kind of partially open, and they open it up, and inside they smell. It shows a monster here, but I'm going to use the whole room as the monster. So there's no monster in here, but the room smells musty. Not decrepit because it's been long enough where there's any kind of organic material is probably gone, but it's musty. Maybe there's some water drippings, and they kind of look around using a torch, and they said, "Okay, there's nothing in here," so they just decide to head back. So they head back to here, and they decide, do we want to go up or keep going to the right, or going east this direction? They decide to go up, and they know that those doors there, they've marked them with some chalk. And what do they find? Oh, cool. They come up to this thing up here. And they come across and they go, wow, how do we get across? Do we have any ropes? Do they have anything? They do each have an adventure kit. But Jaren says, wait, I can get across and check that chest. So Jaren has his ring of jumping, and he basically says, stand back. And he takes a rope, and he hands one side of the rope to... Oh, you can't see that. Let's see if I can turn that off. Where is that coming from? Oh, maybe it's here. Okay, hold on just a second. I'll get that glare off of that card. Much better. Okay. So Jaren takes a rope, hands it to Thorum, and he takes the other end. He puts his weapon away, and he basically jumps across using his ring of jumping. Very cool. So he's got the rope in one hand. He ties the rope to himself, and then Thorum kind of spikes to the ground over here just in case he has to get pulled back. And is there any creature there? Let us see. I'm going to give it a percent chance. I'm going to say there's a 30% chance there is a creature hidden among the refuse and skeletons and bones and stuff there. 45. Nope. So he gets across and he looks at the treasure chest, or the chest, whether it's treasure or not. And they start looking. He says, hey, I think it's locked. I can't unlock this. So what he does is he takes the rope off, ties the rope around the chest, pushes it to the edge here, and he lowers it slowly down, and it swings across, and Thorum pulls it back up. And then Jaren jumps across. And while they're standing here, We'll see if Alindra can unlock the lock. I'm going to call it a hard lock, so it's going to be +5. So she's going to, it is a pick lock. Open lock is dex, so she is a primary on dex. That's good. So it's going to be a 12 plus 5, 17. So she gets a +4 +1 for her level. So she needs a 5. She can't seem to do it. I'm going to give her one more chance. And a 14. So they spend about 20 minutes after pulling it across and making a little bit of noise. And they eventually she gets the lock, click, and it pops open. And inside they find some musty old, some ruined, like looks like clothing. But inside is a book, a small leather-bound book, and it doesn't seem to be affected by the ravages of time. Alindra does a small quick cast to detect magic, and it doesn't seem to be magical, but it could be historical, it could be somebody's journal, but they feel like this is not the time and place to go look at it here, so they just Alindra puts it in her backpack. So that's fascinating, but nothing else in the chest is very interesting at all. It's just destroyed, old organic material or clothing and some stuff like that. So they head back to here and they keep going. I'm going to shift this over just a touch. And the next room they get is a walkway. And as they come across here, do they run into a creature? I'm going to give a 45% chance that they do. And I roll a 90, so no creature at that point. And they come to here. And unless they need to go back here, I'm going to shift these over here out of the way so you can see where we're going. Draw a card. And they come across this. And it's easy to see. Okay, good. So as I come up to these, I come to a door. Come to a double door, single door, and this shows it's a side entrance, but I'm going to use it as a passageway down into the next, that goes down farther into the dungeon, and they're going to stop here for a second and look at these doors. So they check this door here, as I'll use the pointer stick so you can see where I'm pointing to. They're going to listen to this and look at the door. It is not locked, and they both listen. I'm going to let Alindra do it. She listens at the door, rolls a 2. She goes, "Hey guys, there's nothing in here as far as I can tell. It's pretty quiet." So Jaren, wanting to get some action in, he basically busts the door open. And inside here looks like an old storage chamber, maybe like somebody's rest area / storage room. So there's an old bed and some old they searched through some of the crates and stuff, and it's all, it's been here for so long, it's not useful for anything, and you wouldn't want to eat anything that's in there. So they go back to these double doors, and they are locked. So before she does try to attempt to unlock them, she says, "I'm going to listen to the door, make sure that nothing's in here." And she gets a plus for that. The listen is wisdom. Fortunately, she doesn't have wisdom. So it's +2, but she does get +2, so it's 4. That's going to be a 15. Even at the base, she's not going to be able to listen. She doesn't hear anything, but she does see. She can pick the lock. So I'm going to make it medium, so it's going to be +3. She is skilled in dex, or her primary, so open lock would be normal. So it's going to be 12 + 3 is 15. So she gets a +4 plus her level, so it's +5. She gets an 18. Nice roll. So the door goes click. She says, "I got it open." And since she feels like she couldn't hear anything inside the room, but they've had some surprises before, they're kind of wary. They slightly open the door and they shine their torch through. And they see more pillars, some more stuff on the ground. Looks like it's refuse and stuff. And unfortunately, there is something in this room. So as they open the door and they start to go in the room and look, creatures from the back over here, some shadows fall upon the light, and coming from the back behind this pillar and over in this pillar, these shambling monsters come out, and they look like, oh no, they look like zombies. Probably remnants of those left behind. But these are not just human size. They're probably a little bit same height as Thorum, but they don't look like dwarves. They kind of look like a mix between halflings and gnomes of some sort. But they're smaller, but they're coming towards them, and they're shambling towards them. And how many are there? Let us see. There's 7 of them. Okay. 7 zombies. Now, these guys have 2 hit dice each, but they are very slow. D8 for hit points. So let me see how many hit points they're going to have. That's good. I'm going to give them 7 hit points each. So zombies are coming towards them. I'm going to put them... They're going to be one group because they're just so slow and menacing. So they always go last in the turn, but I'm going to put a dice out there just for tracking them. Turn 1 against the zombies. All right. And they're going to go last. Let's put it right here. All right, so Jaren, calling upon the power of Doru again, brandishing his holy symbol towards the zombies, and he says, "Begone, thou foul beasts!" He rolls an 11, and he needed, it's a wisdom check, and he gets +4. So his base is 12. I'm going to give it their hit dice is 2, and I'm going to give it a little bit, so I think he needed a 16, so 11 +4 is 15. And his level, too. So he barely turns them. So how many does he get to turn? How many hit dice does he get to turn? So it's D12 plus his charisma. And he rolls a 2. So 2 + 2, because his charisma is +2. So he turns 2 of them. So effectively, as long as they don't go bother the zombies, and these zombies, he's not powerful enough to destroy them, but so right now they're facing 5. 5 zombies. 2 of them basically move along. They disappear back behind the pillars, and they just kind of like go in the corner and turn around and don't want to have anything to do with the power of Doru. So it is now Alindra's turn. She feels like her spells aren't going to do any good here, so she just goes up and swings one with a short sword. Rolls a 3, so that's not going to be hit because her AC is 12. They have a lot of hit points. So, but that does not hit, even with her bonuses. And then Jaren, they are not humanoids, they're undead. Yeah, they're undead. I don't count them as humanoids, but that makes sense. So they're not humanoids. All right. So he's going to pull his ebon blade out and step forward and start swinging too. He rolls a 19, almost a critical, but he does. I'm assuming that hits because it's +5. Yeah. So it's he only needed a AC 12, so he hits definitely. So he does a D8 +3. And these have no penalties hitting him. So he does 8 points, so he does kill one. He just lops the head off of one as it comes towards him. So now there's 4 left to face. So they have 7 hit points each. So I'm going to put 2. I'm going to put 2 on Thorum because they do not like his presence. Rolling a 14 and a 4, which would be +2 because they're hit dice. So it's 16 and a 6, so that's a miss. And 1 on Jaren. That's a 6 + 2 is an 8. That's a miss versus his AC. And then Alindra rolls an 11 + 2 is 13 versus her class is a miss also. So they are not hitting, which is good because they can do some damage. They do have a special ability if they gang up, but there's not enough to gang up on any of them, so they don't take damage that way. The adventurers do. So let's go back to round 2. So Alindra will go before Thorum, and then the zombies are always at 1. So Jaren steps forward, the one that attacked him. Rolls an 11 with his +5 is a 16. Their armor class is 12, so he does hit again. It's a D8 plus a 3 for his sword. 9. He kills another one. Excellent. Finally stepping up. Alindra attacking the one that is facing her. She rolls a 12 with her bonus of +2. 14. That's enough to hit. She does a D6 plus 1. So it has 2 points. So that one has 5 left. Okay. And then Thorum, he cannot attempt to turn them again. Once you've attempted to turn this group of them, you have to wait a certain amount of time to be able to turn again. So he's got to just swing. So he, pulling his broadsword free from the sheath, calling out the name of Doru, attempts to swing at one of the zombies. He rolls a 14 plus his bonus of 4, so 18 is definitely enough to hit. So broadswords do 2d4 plus his strength bonus, which does 7. 4 and a 3 plus his bonus of +3, so 10. Definitely enough to kill one more. They're trying to keep this from being too much of a horde. Getting rid of 2 of them with turning is great. Now we've got 2 left. One on Thorum. Rolls a natural 20. No. So Thorum does hit him, no matter what he can roll, what it is. So it's going to do. It slams into him. It's D8. So it's going to do 8 plus a D4. So that's 12 points to Thorum. Ah, that was a solid hit. So he's down to 7 health. Ouch. All right. And the next one on Alindra, who was the other one remaining, rolls a 7 plus 2. That's a miss. All right. We're back to initiative. So we'll put the round 3. We'll put them at 1. Oh, well, she's going to go before them anyway. Ooh, Thorum is very angry. He just got hurt pretty bad. So he is going to swing at the one that's still remaining on him. Rolling a 19. Yes, he is very angry. So he's going to do 2d4 plus 3. Which is going to be 3 plus 1. 4 plus 3 is 7, which is enough to kill the one that attacked him and slammed him against the wall. Excellent. He did not like being hit. Jaren, attempting to take out the last remaining one, rolls a 9 plus his bonus of 5. 14 is enough to hit it. Does D8 plus 3, which is 7 plus 3 is 10, which is enough to kill it. So they have killed those zombies, and the ones that are turned will not come after them unless they go and forcibly turn them. So Thorum, while they're searching the room, Thorum will heal himself with a Cure Light Wounds with 5 hit points. So he goes back up to 12, which is good. And he's fine for now. He says, that's good. I can deal with that. And was there anything in this room worth protecting? Something was left these zombies here. Maybe they were the remnants of the guard. Maybe they were, but they were kind of small, not humanoid. They weren't large-sized creatures or even human-sized creatures. They were smaller than that. So after searching, do they find any treasure? So zombies are treasure type 1. Do they find anything? Nope, they don't find. They rolled a 90, so there's no money. I'm not going to roll the other stuff. I'm going to roll the magic items to see if it's something. 26, not enough. So nothing really of value on these zombies. They may have been leftover remnants of whoever lived here before, or even searching down here, or even remnants of people that were searching the below here, you know. So they basically say, well, let's just close the door and get out of here, and let's go down the stairs. So they decide to shut the door. They spike the door shut, so if the zombies start to try and come after them, they won't. They can't get through the door very easily. And so basically this is what they get to, below going down. And they cross through this large winding path. Do they come across anything? They notice that the walls here are a little more damp, like they've gone down enough where there's some water seepage from just the water table. And let's see. Nope, nothing is there in the room. And as they come up to this walkway, through this bigger walk, this is a 5-foot walkway, they come to this 10-foot, they come to this door. And let me push this down a little bit. You don't need to see that. They are at this door. Let me keep it for the glare. It's not as bad. There. Okay, so they're at that door. The door is locked. And they will attempt... She will attempt to listen at the door. Jared's not trained in listen either, so he can't help. So she's going to attempt to listen. Not enough, because she's not trained in wisdom. But she will attempt to unlock the door. The door is going to be medium. Yeah, I'll make it hard. It'll be a hard lock, because it's the end of the dungeon at this point. So it's a 12 for her base, because she has primary dex. 12 plus 5, 17. So she needs a 17 on this dice roll. She rolls a 1. Oh no, she breaks some of her lock picks. She goes like, guys, I can't open this door. It's I don't know what's going on. So Thorum looks at both of them and says, okay, come on, Jaren, let's break it down. So Jaren, who is trained in strength, will get supported by Thorum trying to break the door down. So I'm going to make it a, yeah, let's do that. Let's make it, since it's a strength-based and he is skilled in it, it's going to be 12. He needs a 17 to break it down. So I'm going to give him a plus 3 for his strength plus his level, 5, and I'm going to give him a plus 2 for Thorum, so 7. And he rolls a 12. So that's a 19. Just they don't break through the door, but they get enough force on the door that they torque the lock a little bit and it breaks. And they open the door and it swings open. And inside they see these statues. This is like a raised area of the room. Stairs go down to the center. And all along these walls, there's like these little artwork, bas-relief, all sorts of stuff that's in the walls. But there's these 4 statues. And all 3 of them both look at each other and says, oh man, did we activate these statues? What's going on? So, Jaren decides to come over to here, and he's inspecting the statues. They appear to be normal statues in the sense of like, in fact, one of them looks very similar to the one they found in episode 3. The others are they're all in some kind of a bad state of disrepair. They haven't been cleaned or touched or used, and even looked at for how long, they don't know. But all along the walls, even up on top and on the bottom, I said, like, there's drawings and there's artwork and there's things like that. And one thing they do notice is that the pictures of the people and even the statues have that look of that group of people they ran into in episode 3. That they don't look like anything, any kind of humanoid they've ran into before. But the drawings look like, those look like the creatures that we talked to and they interfaced with and they gave food to. And remember, they were gone once the guards went back down. So they think that these may be some clue to who those people were. So as they move into the group and down to here to start inspecting, as soon as, let's say Jaren puts his foot in one of the squares there because he's walking around looking at something, the statues turn and start moving towards the party. Only 2 of them, though. The other 2 appear to be in such a bad state that they, even if they did animate, they wouldn't be able to move. But these 2 on these ends do come towards them. So they are, I'm going to use an adaptation of the creature called a Stone Guardian. These are not going to be the full form of them because they're a little higher level than what these guys could handle. But that's okay. We're going to use them. We're going to half their hit dice, keep the AC the same, and their immunities will not be as powerful. But that's okay. This is going to be interesting. So I'm going to get the initiative dice ready. Turn 1. They appear to be guarding this room. They always go last, though. That is one of their noted abilities. So they're always going to go last in the turn. They do have some pretty good immunities, but let's see who goes. Oh, Thorum wants to go. Oh, so does Jaren. All right, so Jaren goes first. He rushes forward to one of them and swings at him. They have a pretty high AC. Their AC is 18. Using his sword. He rolls a 7 plus his bonus of 5. 12. That is a miss. Thorum also draws his broadsword and moves towards the other one. And also rolls a 7. So they both miss. And Alindra, yes. How many hit points they're going to have? They're going to have their D10. I said there's 2 of them. Hit dice is 2. Let's see how many hit points. Okay. They have 12 hit points each. There's 2 of them. She will cast Magic Missile at one. Let me see. I think they're immune to that. But I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, just resistant to weapons. Okay. Oh, I don't need to roll. She does D4 plus 1 damage. Does 4 points to the one fighting Jaren. So it is down to 8. And does she get her spell point back? Nope. Okay. Cool. And then the creatures go. They are level, I'm going to say they're hit dice 2. Ooh, they have 2 fists. Okay. They really are just seem really, really tough. So, at Jaren, they get plus 2 to hit. Rolls a 5. That's a 7 total. That's a miss. And he's got 2 fists, actually. And that's a 5. 3 plus 2 is a 5. That's a miss. And on Thorum, 5 plus 2 is 7. 16 plus 2 is 18. His armor class is 19, which is fortunate for him. And he can use that shield against that opponent. All right, so we're turn 2. They're going last. Dex, I'm going to let Alindra go first. But he's going before anybody. Thorum swings at the one that tried to hit him twice. 14 plus his bonus. Plus 4 is an 18. That's a hit. 2d4. So that's a total of 2 plus his bonus of 3 is 7. Now, normally the Stone Guardians do quarter damage from edge weapons. These aren't as powerful. Some will do half damage. So it does 7 is going to do 4. So he's down to 8. Okay. And then Alindra says, I got to do it again. She's going to attack the same one that she shot the magic missile at before. And it does 3 points. So it's down to 5. And then, does she get it back? A 6. No, she doesn't get her spell point back. So she is out of spell points beyond just some cantrips. And then finally, Jaren will swing at the one that's been being hit by Alindra. Rolls a 14, plus his 5 is a 19. That's enough to hit. He does D8. These are not humanoid, so he gets D8 plus 3. So that's a 10, which is half damage, which is 5. It's just enough to destroy the stone guardian. He hits it with the edge of the blade, and there's a chip. It cracks, and it just crumbles apart. So there's only one left, and it's going after Thorum. Ooh, one miss and one hit. It does D4 damage. So it does 3 points of damage to Thorum. So he's at 9. Okay. It's not good. But the other one missed. Round 3. Now they can all focus on this. Hopefully they can kill this creature. Okay. Alindra wants to go. All right. So Alindra's first, and then Jaren, and then Thorum, who will go before the, if he survives. Alindra attempting to move forward and swing at the, 18. Good hit. Plus her bonus. A plus 2 is 20. That's a hit. So it is an edged weapon. So it's D6. Plus her bonus of 1. So that's a 7. That's great. So she does 4 points. I'm rounding up. That's 4 points left. Then Jaren goes. He moves to the other one too. Rolls a 7. Not enough to hit it. It's armor class 18. He was 7 plus his bonus of 5, 12. And then Thorum, tiring of this, he swings at the creature and rolls a 9. Not enough. Plus 4 is 13. Then the creature goes again against Thorum. Rolling a 9 and a 4, which is 6 and 11, which is not enough to hit Thorum. He bounces off his shield. He's now learned some of the tricks of these creatures. So going to turn 4. All right, well, they're going to go. Oh, they all go. Well, I'm going to do it in that order, right there. So Alindra swings at the last remaining creature. Oh, rolls a natural 20. Excellent. She's just on fire tonight. So like I said, it does D6 plus a D4. It does the maximum damage on the die, so it's 6 plus 2 plus her bonus of strength is 1, so 9. Rounded up is 5, which is enough to kill the creature. The crit did it. She found a chink in the stone. She shoves her short sword into that, and it cracks and breaks apart. Excellent job. So these guardians appear to be guarding something that was inside this little question mark area, if you can see it. And on a little pedestal inside there was looks like a stone crown. And it does radiate magic. And that's what they were guarding, it appears. And so they take a few rubbings of the drawings and of the imprints into the wall, so they can bring back and show what they had found. And like I said, they had noticed these creatures that were on the wall looked exactly very similar to the creatures that they had found in episode 3 underground. They were friendly, but they didn't get a chance to interact with them very much. So they take the stone crown. They put it in their backpack because they don't want to have to take a moment to. They like I said, they take some rubbings of the wall. They make some markings, and they realize they have that leather book that they have found. So they decide it's time to get out and go back. They've been here for several hours. Alindra does try her light spell again, and it seems to be working again. So that's good. It didn't seem to be permanently damaged. So they actually leave the dungeon, and they find their way back to the edge of the Torian Hills, and they wait for the scout to appear. Scout shows up. They lead them back to Hearthhold, and we will stop there for this evening. I will work on what they have discovered and what they found, and some either extra hit points, and whether they're gonna. They did not discover where the Kiltar raiders were located, but they did find some interesting, maybe some historical stuff based on the Thorum original people that were in this area. So we'll check it out and see what happens. I appreciate you watching. We will stop for now and check back next time and see what the adventurers discover when we'll take a look at the book. Maybe they can get that translated. Maybe the stone crown has some neat properties that they can maybe even use it, or may have something to do with other things going on. Because remember, they found a stone crown earlier in their adventures on one of the orcs. It wasn't magical, but it looks very similar to what they had found. So anyway, thanks a lot, and I appreciate it. Hope you had a good time. I enjoyed running it. It was fun seeing some of the stuff that they can do, and I will check out what's going on. I'll write down some notes, get some some history written up, and I should have some more information for you next time. Thanks for watching, and take care.